All right, everybody. The longest day continues. Let's go ahead and roll a d20. Let me know what happened in our last episode.
Fuck, I rolled a 3.
15.
I rolled a 5.
I got a 4.
What the hell? Ryan, 2 for 2. What happened in our previous episode?
It must be all that Kalt's karma catching up with him.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I think Kalt, karmically, very clean. Like,
I think so too.
very clean. Honestly, everybody that tried to kill it, everybody he killed tried to kill him. So karmically speaking, I think he's very clean. So what happened last time? We were in the control center for this big arcane device that's going to like rip down the walls of time and space. Maeve had a great idea to bring Lee into the fight so we just weren't instantly smashed by what we found out to be Azagar, which is a giant white dragon.
Correct. For the folks that like the details, I'm using the Ancient White Dragon stat block for Azagar.
So Lee came into the mix, kind of kept Azagar off our backs, where we kind of like methodically took apart this machine. There's a bunch of like crystals in these large posts that kind of like feeding energy. We were able to turn them off, safely remove the crystals. We were also able to kind of like beat up some mage lords that were trying to interfere. All that completed, all the crystals done. We completely powered down this huge arcane device. And at the very top, I guess there's like this floating crystal that was being kind of like suspended by magic. It starts to slowly lower. We look inside and find out that it is Galagath, as an old man Galagath, like chained up on the inside. And the last thing he says to me, Kalt, noted...
trigger happy,
noted trigger happy, karmically clear, and literal person, said, "You need to kill me."
Ryan, you pretty much nailed it. Just a little context here in the center of Naranial. 2 timelines. There's the Highlands and then this desolate timeline in which you're all existing. You've just shut down the machine, a recreation of Kaiser's contraption from 1,000 years ago, this time with Galagath at its center. Azagar and Lee are still fighting outside. The Mage Lords have been dealt with by Jeddah primarily. Kalt, you step off alone, and you see the person inside the crystal. You didn't know what to expect, but Galagath peers out at you. Now, before we get your reaction, a lot of thoughts are going to come flooding into your brain. Because the last time that you were here in Naranial, you were trying to escape the time bombings. You were trying to figure out, why isn't everything fixed? We stopped the cataclysm. Why are we still seeing this alternate timeline? And on your way out, before you blew up a ship and rescued Bottle Brew and all that, you left Bait and Galagath here with a charge to keep Galagath safe. You were told by Bottle Brew and Florence, the Mage Lords, they want something with Galagath. All these pieces sort of click together in your head. Somehow, despite leaving Galagath with Bait in the Highlands, he managed to find his way here, captured by the Mage Lords, and put at the center of this machine. Why? You don't know. But Bait seems to have failed in his charge, and whatever the Mage Lords are up to, it sits right in front of you, a tear rolling down its cheek. Clearly doesn't want to die, but panicked in his expression. "You have to kill me!" The rest of you in the room hear those words, but you don't know who's saying them.
Okay, I'm gonna like start to raise my finger, like little magic fire, like little bolts of magic energy raise around my, like circle my finger, and I'm gonna look over at Jerry, like, ugh.
Jerry hears the words, "You have to kill me," and his eyes dart to you, and he looks panicked. He sees the orange light from your spell reflecting off your face and refracting through the crystal.
Seeing Jerry's panic, I'm going to lower my finger. Which is a funny thing to say. Seeing Jerry's panic, I lower finger. Seeing that, I'm going to stop. Why, I guess.
You are all now hearing the dialogue between the obscured Galagath and Kalt.
Why, Galagath?
You are all now very aware that it is Galagath Kalt is talking to.
Yeah, I go to the thing and I'm like, "God damn it, Bait, you useless motherfucker. You were supposed to protect Galagath and you didn't. And then you have the fucking nerve to go, everything's fine. Why are you making a big deal out of nothing? Useless. Fucking useless."
Locke and Maeve, what do you do?
We need to kill Bait.
What? Wait, what? I'm not against it, but why?
Are you saying that as Matt or as Maeve?
No, it's Matt. 100%.
Okay.
Wait, Galagath, what are you doing here?
I'm not here of my own volition. The god plans to sap my strength and gain domain over time that he always coveted. If I remain here, he will succeed. And he starts not sobbing, but both eyes are now streaming tears. Obviously, again, not wanting to die, but telling you, like, these are the stakes. This is the plan. I am the key.
Well, could we just, like, take you away?
Galagath's face contorts again, and he's like, I don't know where I'll be safe. But please, kill me or free me, but we must move fast. And at that, you hear the ongoing clash of the dragons outside as a crater is dug into the ground by their confrontation, and they shriek at each other.
Could you help in this conflict against the dragons? You're a god, right?
Does he look like in any condition?
We can talk about it somewhere else, but we need to go.
Wait, Galagath, I have a question. Which god do we need to hide you from?
Azagar! He's the... Obviously, that's the bad one, the big bad one. He's gonna...
I'd like to make an insight check.
Please.
Okay, that is a 13 plus 6, 19.
Okay, are you trying to detect anything in particular, or just trying to discern truthfulness?
Truthfulness.
You see no reason to doubt his panic. You didn't talk to him much, but I mean, last time you dealt with the machine, he pointed you down the right path. Leaving Naranial, he was just kind of like, yep, okay, I'll do my best to try to stay safe and all that. And now there's sort of a dark passion behind what he's saying, but you don't sense a reason to doubt it.
Do these chains seem like really sturdy and tough, or are they just like enough to keep it what looks to be a very old man?
Enough to keep a very old man in there. You can imagine that, given his state, that the machine itself was probably doing a lot of the restraining. This is just kind of like mounting him to the inside of it.
Locke, would you mind maybe breaking these chains with your big, strong, muscly arms?
I can try.
Ooh, wait, I could try. Takale mentioned that I had gauntlets of ogre power that I got
Yep,
from
you
Lisa.
do.
I have a +4 to my strength now.
I got a plus 10,
Yeah.
bitch.
Okay, fine.
So, Kalt, as Locke is stepping over to remove the chains, you don your gauntlets and you look around like, oh, maybe I have the power. And you reach out to grab the chains, and Locke just big dogs you pretty hard. And he just like snaps one of them right in front of you, and you feel a little, I don't know if emasculated is the word, but Locke has shown you up just by the fact that he is so beefy.
I'm going to one-up you, and I'm going to say I've been wearing them the entire time. And then to reveal it, I rip off my cloak, revealing a toned and taut old man body.
You're pulling a King Boomy on me right now?
I'm pulling a King Boomy. Just muscles on muscles, and then immediately, like, Locke deflates me by just, like, flicking one of these chains and it disintegrates.
You stand there sort of awkwardly, though you do look toned as fuck. Locke sort of just like eyes you like, when the fuck did that happen? I haven't seen him do a push-up in his life.
I have been going to the gym.
Locke, it doesn't take long for you to break the chains that were hanging him up and catch Galagath. He's very frail and needs all of your support, and you are able to take him out of the capsule as the dragon fight rages on. The wall of force, I believe, is still up, but the structure around you is starting to rattle, and dust and debris are shaking down as the dragons get closer and closer to your location.
Babe, can you cast Dimension Door to get us all out of here? Like, maybe cast it multiple times?
I don't have the spell slots for that.
So one giant crystal leans up against the console in the room, and Galagath is now being propped up by Kalt and Locke.
Could somebody put that crystal in my bag? Kind of like motioning towards like the leopard print bag and the crystal.
Jerry knows Locke has the bag, goes over to keep propping up Galagath if Locke chooses to go.
Yeah, I'll go grab
He stows the third crystal, so you now have 3 giant pink crystals in this bag.
Does it seem like Galagath is hurt?
You don't see points of injury, but he seems weak, ill, emaciated, I would say.
I don't have anything for that. Okay, moving on.
Okay. So you're all standing there with Galagath in between you, 3 crystals in the bag. What do you all do?
Right now, we need to get as far away from the dragons as possible. So,
Or we could help smite that dragon. If Azagar falls, we won't have to worry about this anymore.
I look over at Galagath. Is that true?
Galagath sighs and thinks on this.
Azagar is the greatest threat to the flow of time. He is the source of the timelines of the corruption by his attacks on his brother. And he is the gravest threat in our way. In his absence, there could be another. I don't know.
You're a strong maybe.
Can I show I'd like to pull out the crystal hand and be like, do you know what this is?
How are you holding the hand? Like by the wrist, by the fingers? How are you displaying it? I'm curious.
Sure, by the wrist.
By the wrist, you hold up Lama's detached hand, reaching outward in with its fingers in a curled-like fashion. And Galagath's tears, they don't stop, but his face brightens in a bit, and he says,
My sister!
and he reaches his own hand out, trying to clasp it, too weak to do so, but their hands are outstretched towards each other. And he says,
You found her, but is she gone?
Honestly, we don't really know. Like, maybe she'll come back, maybe not, but this is like a piece of her. You can hold it if you want.
Galagath takes the hand from you, weakly, gingerly, and he caresses it. The way that you all have operated these things, you've typically taken a spell and cast it into the crystal. All in all, sort of a crude way of executing your travels through time, just because, you were given the tools to do it. For him, this is second nature. Whether or not he's been able to do this on his own, we're not really sure. He hasn't seemed very powerful, but with the reunification with Lama's hand, he casts a spell to move you all back into the Highlands timeline, and it's almost instantaneous. No hurtling, no void, no tunnels. You are just there, and reality around you flips like a switch. You stand inside the Salt Spire. The dragons outside are no longer there. The Wall of Force, gone. And the machinery, nowhere to be found. You're back in Naranial, the druids on their way like a giant flock of birds, and Galagath standing between you.
Can I cast message to have a little convo with Kalt?
Yes.
Rude.
Yeah.
Hi, Call. There's, you know how we wanted to bring, all the different pieces of the gods together?
Yes.
Jerry was brought back made real by Seraphina's magic.
Do you, we have them hug or something? How would that work?
I don't know, maybe brotherly hug or handshake? I don't know. But, anyway.
Firmly grasp it.
That's all I say.
Okay, Jerry, come. You are...
Jerry is also helping you hold up Galagath.
Jerry, you are born partially from Seraphina's magic. Perhaps one of her magic she imbued with you could work together with these other, Galagath and this other crystalline hand. Perhaps together you can do something.
How would you even... What? You can't just smush us together. What happened to me?
I didn't.
Why don't you just try holding hands?
Yeah, I'm not saying smushing. But Galagath, is there anything to that? There should be a sliver of Seraphina's power. He was born of a wish.
Galagath shrugs and is like,
I suppose we could...
And since you're all sort of, the three of you are touching right now, Kalt, Jerry, Galagath, he's gonna stick his hand out and Lama's hand and offer to hold hands with Jerry, who, please everybody remember just how skinless and horrifying this child looks.
We don't have to re-litigate his grossness.
Like a truly nightmarish figure is Jerry. And so, Kalt, they're all about to do the touching. You're currently touching both of them. I don't know if you want to remove yourself from the situation, but
if it seems like it might be a negative, or that if Jerry seems to be able to sustain Galagath's weight without any aid,
I think so. I don't think that's a problem. The form that Galagath is in right now is very, very frail. So also lightweight.
Okay, yeah, I'll back up. Just think God thoughts.
Kalt, you slowly let go of Galagath and step away, and the three of them hold hands, including Lama's deceased hand. You all stand there for a moment as Jerry looks confused, Lama's hand pulses, and Galagath's face looks very solemn as he tries to channel energy through all of them. Until the light in the hand fades, and he's like, I got nothing. That's not, we're not, I don't know how to.
Power of friendship can't do this one, friends.
Well, I mean, just thinking about it, like the machine split me from my siblings. I can't just stitch us back together. It would seem, I don't know, I'm reaching out into the ether and feel nothing.
Perhaps we could take out the crystals and harness them in a similar manner.
I can't believe I'm the one to suggest it, but the crystals themselves are remnants of the gods, conduits to our power, but to harness them, you would need a machine.
You better be fucking kidding me. We have to go back.
I mean, if this is what you're trying to do.
Colin speaking, this is not the route I thought you were going to take, so
if you want to try anything like this, I don't know what would happen. Honestly, there's a good chance I die, in which case, I mean, that's kind of what I said.
Yeah, you kind of wanted that, so I don't see a downside.
Well, let me be clear, I don't necessarily want to, but as a solution to a problem.
You looked at me dead in the eye and was like, I want this more than anything.
But you understand that I was putting the needs of everyone above my own.
Maybe. I'm bad with faces and expressions.
Jerry sort of glares at you like, seriously.
I have face blindness. I can't recognize emotion. We could go back and try and turn on the machine.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. This is not the solution. I'm not going to say you can't go down this road, but I don't want you guys to feel locked into it by me. You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
I guess that we should figure this out as a group. Continue forward or go back and try to use the machine.
I think we have a higher chance of success with this than defeating a big-ass dragon.
I don't know. Cool story, though.
But what if we all gang up on the dragon? We have, it's 6 versus 1.
Yeah, and we have a dragon on our side.
Right.
Chowder, what do you think?
I don't really have tools to deal with a dragon. I'm all about sneak attacks.
You can be the hype man.
I'm not a bard.
We can have our dragon pick you up and drop you on the back of the other dragon, and then you just start stabbing.
I'd like to put out there that Jeddah is still quite frightened of Azagar.
Oh, fuck.
So when you say that, Jeddah's head just shakes like, bad idea.
Okay, so it would really mostly probably just be Kalt and Maeve, because I also only have a few things that I can do at range.
Yeah.
So you see Locke go from being like super jazzed about fighting a dragon to being like, shit, that's probably not a great idea.
Yeah, the mood settles over the room. That direct confrontation with Azagar is a pretty risky proposition. And I mean, if you guys fail, you don't know explicitly how Galagath came to be captured by the Magelords in the first place. But I mean, if you don't kill Azagar, the problem that existed will continue to exist.
Fuck it, we ball. Let's kill Azagar.
Jeddah, I'm going to remind you are still frightened of Azagar. And you
got that.
Let's kill Azagar.
I thought you just couldn't move.
I mean, it's the flavor of it. It makes sense.
I mean, as some time has passed, maybe you could roll a couple more checks to see.
The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. If you'd like to make a check, you can. I'm maintaining it unless
it's been like a minute, so maybe a couple.
What
checks?
if we go back in time and kill Azagar when he's a baby?
Hey, time travel is in the mix. Time travel is in the mix.
Another arc.
To be fair, you guys haven't time traveled forward and backwards in time since meant to be. You've only been moving across concurrent timelines, so you don't know for sure if you can do that. Not saying you can't.
Galagath, would it be possible to go so far back in time that we could kill Azagar as a mere child?
I don't think so, simply because their existence far predates my own into a realm of existence when magic flowed through the gods as though blood flows through our veins, and they are relics of that time, and I've never tried.
Well,
I don't feel great about it.
We thought we were going to end this campaign in a couple episodes, but let's go on another arc.
Maybe we should just stick to the using the machine plan.
Stick to the
Yes.
I mean, if you guys want to really get in the mix, I can cast fly on folks, and then we could get like in the mix. We can be like on top of this dragon. Although if I do lose concentration, it's gonna be
we will die.
it's gonna be an abrupt fall. But I do also I do have feather fall prepared, so it's not like the end of the world.
You guys are taking quite a long time to hash this out, to the point where as you're bouncing ideas back and forth, considering alternatives, you start to hear the footsteps of people outside as here in the Highlands, those approaching druids start making their way into the tower. You hear the squawk of crows landing higher up on the tower, and you see some land on the windows in front of you. And one such crow sweeps in through the window and lands on the floor, transmogrifying itself into bait. And he says, "Oh my God, what did you..."
I'm going to kick Bait's ass.
Why?
Forget everything else. I'm kicking his ass. Just literally kick in his ass because he let Galagath get captured. He's on this bullshit about how everything's all right. I'm gonna give a kick in the ass.
Okay, so Bait lands on him and says, "Oh my God, you what? How did you?" And he's sort of like fumbling with his words as Jeddah, you walk up to him. Please make an attack roll to kick Bait.
Not 20.
What? How did you? As Jeddah, you kick him and he stumbles straight backward. He's like, "Good to see you, Jeddah. What was that for?"
You useless motherfucker!
What did I do? What did I do?
You let Galagath get captured. You go on this old bullshit about, oh, everything's all hunky-dory. Why must we poke the wasp nest bullshit, man? You useless motherfucker!
As you're sort of confronting Bait, Galagath lets out a heaving sigh and says,
He's more than useless. He is treacherous.
Treacherous.
Bait glares at Galagath, has like a look like, don't do it. Don't say it. All the other elves, druids, transforming back into themselves around, see the tension between the two of them as you turn to Galagath, Jeddah.
What do you mean treacherous?
He was charged with my protection to keep me secret and safe from the gods, and he handed me over to them as a bartering chip for his own safety.
You motherfucker!
Well, no,
Bait is going to hold his hand up and say,
Listen, this entire realm was in danger of erasure from a massive creature. And how do you placate a fascist? You just give them a little bit of control, and they'll play nice.
That is not how that works at all!
Can you blame me for trying? I spent 1,000 years floundering in the ocean, knowing that I could have done something to prevent it, and fuck, I'm going to try now. Let Azagar do what he has to, knowing he will keep us safe. That's what matters.
Bait, I think you should leave.
Wait, is Bait full on? Is he turned into a Magelord, or was that a stumble? Azagar, let Azagar do what he needs to do.
he said that.
Wait, did you say let? Like a little bit of almost like a smile creeping up on his face. Like, did you just say let Azagar do what he wants?
Did you see it? Do you really think we can stop it? He couldn't even kill himself. He's too powerful. We need to do what we can to protect the people under his fist. And I am not letting my people die again.
And all of these people, like he came with a group, like all of these people agree.
Everyone there is pretty speechless, to the point where you hear a couple of murmurs like, "Jeez, what the hell?"
Well, I just want to make sure for purposes of, collateral damage, if anybody agrees with Bait, you could stand near him. That would be helpful. If you don't agree, you could move farther away.
You see a lot of people slowly step away from Bait. Absolutely nobody comes to his aid. And he stands up, clearly not wounded from the kick from Jeddah, and drops all pretense for his well-being and says,
You're all here toying with the nature of fate, jumping between timelines, using this bit of lema to look at all this. You're all monkeying with time yourselves. Why do you get to do it? And I don't. At the end of the day, I know more about this than anyone else. I've dealt with it the longest. Who's to say I'm not right for taking a stand?
What are you taking a stand for, Bait?
My people!
Are you? As I point to like the huge bubble that has been created between him and his people.
He feels a little deflated, noticing that his people do not approve of this message.
They are exactly 20-foot radius away.
Yeah. He looks around the room and says,
Again, you're willing to change the course of time to try to help people? So am I. History will decide who's right.
Can I roll to break free of that fear now?
go for it.
Come on, man. This is the perfect time.
I want to break free.
16?
I want to count it. I want to bend it because it's a 17. I want to bend it.
Damn.
You're the DM.
I know.
You can do what you want.
I know. I try not to do that. Here, I'm just gonna roll.
Then don't.
I'm gonna roll.
Then don't do it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. I mean, are the dragons visible in this moment?
No, the dragons. You're in the Highlands timeline. They're off in the Desolate timeline, so they're not immediately there.
They're not visible in this moment, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't necessarily. I mean, maybe not necessarily wanting
Yeah.
to go back, but in this juncture, it wouldn't affect.
Yeah, so
we're talking about.
you would still be scared of Azagar if you saw them, Jeddah, but Azagar's not around, so nothing is inhibiting you from speaking or acting.
All right. I grab a crystal. Kalt, do me a solid. Cast fly on me.
Are we? Is the plan to go kill a dragon? Is that what we're doing?
I'm going to go kill a dragon. You can do what you want, but I'm gonna go kill a dragon.
All right, well, we're all...
That's your funeral.
Well, it might be your funeral, Bait, because I will be coming back, and you owe me fingies. You're no longer part of the party. You're no longer... They're not going to judge me for taking them now.
Take his fingers. I don't care.
Hey, one vote. I just need 2 more. Well, 3 more. Jerry gets a say, I suppose.
So what actions specifically are you guys taking?
Who all wants to fly? Because I mean, flight is a 3rd level spell. I have 6th level spell slots.
So is that the consensus? We're gonna go fight the dragon?
Well, I mean, I think that's what's been brought up, but I think definitely we could bamf on that.
So yeah, okay. So let's say this: Kalt and Jeddah are clearly ready to go aid Lee in the fight against Azagar, and they look over to Locke, Galagath, and Maeve for approval.
This is extremely risky. Highly likely that at least somebody dies. So if we're all willing to take on that risk, then let's do it.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm willing to let you die.
As I put my hand on Locke's shoulder.
How selfless of you, Kalt.
I'll miss you every day.
At least I'm your buddy again.
Oh, you're all always my buddy. It's just sometimes you've got bad ideas. It's fine.
Galagath, as you all sort of like corral around each other for this idea, says,
Go without me, but keep me away from this greasy dolt.
You either come with us or we can't do anything about that.
I looked at the other druids. Guys, can you take care of Galagath? I don't trust Bait for obvious reasons.
they respect their own, and they all sort of like move in. Bait doesn't resist at all. Bait just sort of like steps to the outside of the room and watches all this happen, like his eyes furiously darting between everyone as he sees like plans slipping from his fingers.
Wait. Those of you that are caring for Galagath, great. That should be like 5 people. The rest of you, if you could beat the shit out of Bait, I think that would be... I think fair. I don't know what your criminal justice system looks like, but...
Oh, should the name of this episode be Times Against Humanity? Anyway, I think that the druids in here have no issue following these orders. They click and whistle to each other to coordinate positioning as 5 of them... quickly form a shield around Galagath, and the others basically ready weapons and spells against Bait. So you're basically standing at this point on the opposite of this empty chamber, ready to teleport, watching the druids prepare to take care of Bait and protect Galagath from him.
All right, Dad, let's do this.
Jerry, this might be a one-way trip. And with Bait still in the... being Bait, I guess.
Hello.
I ask you a favor. Would you stay here with Galagath and protect him?
He is struck by this. Not just take action for others, but you are risking your life for the welfare of an entire world, most of which you don't even know. And he says,
Yeah, I can do that.
Good. Know this, whatever has been said and whatever will happen, Jerry, you're a good boy. You are my greatest creation, and I am sorry for whatever damage I have committed.
you get back here and we can fix it together.
I'd like to go grab the crystal hand from Galagath again. I'm not leaving that here.
You're not a tiny kid anymore, but you're still probably one of the smallest people in the room, so you skip on over and yoink, and you skip. With a sprightly step, you grab it back from Galagath and return to your party.
Okay. Ready or not, here we go.
You feel the pressure of time close around you as you summon the power of Lema and hurtle yourself from one timeline through the void and into the other. You are greeted by the tower in which you stood, the machine still intact, with the entire outward-facing wall destroyed. The brawl of the dragons has continued in your absence as they are circling in the sky above you, chasing each other down. There are craters, scorch marks, and shattered bits of tower all around you. Roll for initiative.
That's a 2 + 1, 3.
I got 6.
That one.
Are you still using the same die?
Yeah.
Matt! You're killing me.
That was the good die that was working for me before.
I don't have another one with me.
Oh, no.
Use the virtual one. Anything's better. I got an 18.
We have our initiative order for you guys. Let me roll
Very
for
low initiative.
Azagar. And Lee.
I didn't like that the one for Lee was louder and more nervous.
Well, Azagar got a 19 on initiative and Lee got a 1.
Super.
Oh boy.
Awesome.
The dragons circling overhead are clearly still engaged in combat, and without knowing the particulars, Lee is worse off than Azagar, now seeing entire patches of scales missing from his hide, as Azagar seems to be scorched by the lightning breath, but very little else has happened that you can notice. Your god is losing this fight.
Classic.
Azagar is first in the initiative order. Azagar is chasing down Lee and is going to fire another blast of cold breath at it, pushing him down in the air, but Lee manages to emerge unscathed, though angry, as he does in fact use his legendary resistance, summoning his godly power, taking, instead of 60 damage, 30. So Lee is not doing particularly well, as you can see. The first person with a chance to address that is Mr. Locke. What do you do?
So I have to wait for Kalt to do the fly stuff.
You could hold your turn if you want.
I could. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that I can do in preparation, but I'm pretty sure most of my spells are 120 feet range.
Yeah, what is the distance involved? How far away are we?
There may be a couple hundred feet away, 200-300 feet, like dog fighting in the air.
By the way, fly gives a 60-foot speed, just for everybody's knowledge, since that's going to be going on everybody.
I guess I will use Blade Ward.
Okay.
Just as like a preparation thing.
Blade Ward, is that the thing that creates like a wind of knives around you?
No, it's like I trace a sigil of warding in the air, and until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by... Fuck!
Yeah, weapon attacks.
I won't do that then. I'll just hold my entire turn.
Okay, you're going to hold your turn until Kalt can cast Fly on you.
Until Kalt casts Fly on my bitch ass.
Jeddah, you are right after Locke. What do you do?
Well, since they're flying right now, I'm gonna hold my turn until Kalt can let me fly.
Kalt's next in the turn. Kalt, you have two people looking at you, tapping their feet Sonic the Hedgehog style, waiting to fly.
Sorry, I have all of these limes. I'm trying, I can't hold all of them.
Did everybody want to fly? Matt, did you want to fly also?
Yeah, might as well, right?
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to use it has to be touch. So I'm going to group hug my friends. And it's got to be a 6th level to get all 4 of us. And I will cast Fly. It is concentration, so that's only I have to worry about that. It lasts for 10 minutes, and your flight speed is now 60 feet. Beyond that, I'm probably going to stay out of combat for the most part. I'm going to keep very high range, so good luck.
Okay.
And then y'all can start to fly. I'll use my movement to get like 60 feet up in the air. I don't have any useful bonus actions, I don't think, so.
Even though the wall of the tower is broken in front of you, you quickly ascend through the shaft of the salt spire. You're now hovering enclosed by walls yet again, but far above the machine. So it's just like, think of it, it's a big hollow tower above you, and you're just floating in there to avoid being detected. Locke, it is now your turn. What do you do?
I'm zooming.
You're zooming, so you dash 60 feet into the air. You close maybe a third of the gap between you and the dragons, but they're also careening towards you, so you'll reach them pretty soon. What do you do?
So now are they within like 120 feet of me?
Yes.
Are they within 90 feet of me?
Lee might be. Azagar's not. Azagar's chasing Lee towards you.
I am going to magic missile Azagar.
Okay, go for it. What is that damage?
That is... Okay, that's 7 damage. Not a lot, but we take that.
Yep, let me take that off. You lunge into the air and hurtle yourself towards Azagar like a missile yourself, and from you 3 more proceed, dealing 7 damage to Azagar. That's going to put us to this number. And you continue your flight as Jeddah may now take action behind you. What do you do, Jeddah?
All right. I move the full 60 feet. Bonus action, dash, because rogue.
So as Locke is firing these missiles, you're like almost keeping pace with the missiles you're flying so far ahead of him.
Yeah. And am I able to make a melee attack on Azagar?
No, I'd say that by the end of your movement, you're sort of crossing paths with Lee, and Azagar's maybe like another 60 feet ahead of you.
Yeah, then I'm going to dash again and to get to him.
All right, so I'm going to resolve this now. Please make a wisdom saving throw with advantage. I'm going to say with the help of Locke and Kalt. You're not just in this on your own. You are being actively boosted by their help. So
Our leadership.
Wisdom save with
leading
advantage.
by example.
If you fail, I am going to count that in your actions.
Okay. Ooh, 16 is what I rolled, and then plus the 1 is 17.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Give me a heart attack. My God. Okay.
Why do you do these things?
You are careening towards Azagar, and it opens its mouth to roar in chase, and you stare straight down its mouth, its massive razor-sharp teeth, its fluttering tongue shaking as, like, saliva's blasted out at you like a shotgun. This thing is pissed, and it is powerful, and for some reason, with the help of your friends, you don't feel frightened at all. It is so close to you now. You have spent so much action to move as fast as possible. You are basically in melee distance of this dragon, but I don't know if you have anything you can do.
No, that was it. I'll have to wait for my next turn to actually do stuff.
Okay. Maeve, you have just watched your friends all rocket away, 2 towards the dragon, 1 toward the ceiling. What do you do?
So I have a fly speed of 60 feet, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'd like to fly near Kalt and Locke.
So Locke went forward, Kalt went straight up, because Kalt's hiding here in the tower. You could definitely keep pace with either of them, not Jeddah. Jeddah's way far away.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's a way that I can be 30 feet away from both Locke and Kalt.
I'd say so. They're sort of like taking off at like 40 at a 45-degree angle, so if you split the difference.
Perfect. Then I'm going to split the difference, and then I'm going to twin cast haste on Kalt and Locke.
Okay.
So their speed is doubled. They get +2 to AC, advantage on dex saving throws, and you gain an additional action on each of your turns that can only be used to dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. Or attack.
Golly.
So you have 120 flight speed now.
Maeve, you basically shoot up and float, hover right outside the tower. You see Kalt through a window and Locke ahead of you. You outstretch your hands and take this action, and you both feel imbued with the hasted abilities of Maeve. Anything else you'd like to do?
Absolutely not.
Cool. It is Lee's turn. Lee is retreating aggressively towards the tower, and it's just going to use its action to dash and make its way back to the tower. So Kalt, you hear Lee sort of crash land into the floor 60 feet beneath you. He's basically just trying to catch his breath, having just been absolutely walloped. And he turns around, aiming at the incoming Azagar, with 3 of you in between them. He doesn't have the range on any of his attacks to hit from here, so he's not going to take any bonus actions or reactions. Back to the top. Azagar careens straight towards Lee. Seeing that his opponent and fellow god is on the ropes, he decides to make that his primary target and is going to hold any further actions until he gets there, thinking that a lot of you are insignificant and is willing to take a few scratches. Locke, you can now move 120 feet and easily close the aerial gap between you and Azagar. What do you do?
We're hexing that bitch ass.
Hex that bitch ass.
Now we are closing the distance so that I can be within.
You are going to be definitely within 90 feet.
Yeah.
I'd say that if you really wanted to push it, you could get to with 120 feet.
I need to read Hex real fast.
Oh, why don't you read it out loud?
You place a curse on a creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack. So, if I hit it with a magic missile, do I roll hex damage on each missile?
Spells aren't attacks unless they explicitly say so.
Okay.
Like Ray of Frost, because that says you make a spell attack.
Okay, so yeah, auto hit stuff like that,
There
no.
you go.
But
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I figured. Well, in that case, I'm getting within melee range, and I'm using my Hammer of Thunderbolts.
Make an attack roll.
That is a 31.
That is a 31. Azagar is shouting at Jeddah. Jeddah currently nestled in the crook of this dragon's wing as they pass each other, and it heads straight for you, Locke. You draw back your hammer with Maeve's additional speed. You are able to swing straight down, and as Azagar passes just underneath you, you feel it clang against his scales, the crack of them beneath you. Please roll damage, for you have struck him.
That is a 16 plus 3, 19 damage. 3 of it was necrotic.
So 19, 3 is necrotic. What resistances does this boy have?
The other damage was bludgeoning, if that matters.
Yep, no resistances as such, so all good there. You, Azagar feels the blow and lets out another yelp. It was roaring, but when you hit it, the roar goes like, like it just sort of like cracks its voice as it's like, ah, fuck, and continues to fly past you and Jeddah.
Well, it's still my turn. Whenever I attack, I get to hit him 3 times.
Oh, and then are you using your hasted action too?
I'm probably going to do that. That's a 28.
Hit.
That will be 17 plus 1. 17 bludgeoning, 1 necrotic.
Okay.
And then we swang for the 3rd time.
Okay.
That's a 34.
34.
With 14 bludgeoning and 5 necrotic.
Yeah, Azagar is feeling the burn. Is that the end of your turn, Locke?
Nope, because I have my hasted action, which I will be using, is a 33 to hit.
Okay, hits.
Then we have 18 bludgeoning and 2 necrotic. Now I will action surge.
Good grief.
Can I, for the action surge, is that only going to be 1 attack again, or is that now 3?
That'll be 3.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
3 because it's just another action, so you have your full
Right.
like range of attacks.
So I'm hopefully gonna like absolutely slaughter this motherfucker right here. So that's a 30 to hit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna roll all 3 attacks first. That's another 30 to hit. That's only a 21 to hit.
2 of those hit.
He's becoming the one.
So we got 18 bludgeoning,
He's starting to believe.
Yeah.
another 18 bludgeoning. So 2 necrotic and 3 necrotic. So that was 2 18s and then 5 additional necrotic.
Was that 36, 5, so 41 damage? Okay.
Yeah.
Azagar is basically sweeping down at you screaming. You're like me playing Sonic Adventure and you just mash the homing attack button.
Just pounding away.
Yeah.
As this fucker rolls over you, basically just like spinning in the air.
Nobody else laughed at that. That makes me feel sad. You're like me
hear
when
you
I'm
'cause
playing
I was-
Sonic. And I said, I'm just pounding away.
You know me just pounding away at Sonic the
Oh
Hedgehog.
my goodness gracious.
That's even worse.
Wait, Pat, did you attack 6 times or 7 times?
7 times.
Okay, 7 times.
So you deal a tremendous amount of damage to Azagar, who shrieks as a result and flips around using one of its legendary actions to retaliate. In doing so, it is going to roll. What's this? Plus 14 to hit. Holy shit. Locke, what's your AC?
19?
And in retaliation, its tail swings up and does hit you for
What did it get?
a 9 plus 14.
Which is
23.
23? I'm gonna shield.
Okay.
Ew.
Locke, you barely have time to bounce back from your attack as you see the massive clawed tail of this dragon swinging upward beneath you. You are just in time to cast shield and deflect it as he continues toward the tower, unable to hit you back. Jeddah, what do you do?
He's going towards the tower?
Yes, he was flying toward the tower. You and Locke were flying away from the tower. So This is all happening as you guys are like crossing each other, ships in the night. So you could continue away from Azagar, you could follow him, you could just attack. What do you do?
Yeah, I follow him and I like rush at him looking like I'm about to make a frontal assault with my infiltrator dagger. And then I cast Misty Step to be right in front of his eye. Then I cast Booming Blade.
Okay.
A pair of glasses suddenly go onto Jetta's face, and then they like kind of glaze over like they're in an anime.
What are the effects of Booming Blade again? It's been a minute.
You brandish the weapon using the spell's casting and make a melee attack with it against one creature within 5 feet. On hit, the target suffers a weapon, attacks normal effects, and then becomes sheathed in booming energy. And like the damage is basically when it willingly moves.
It's like damage over time.
Well, also, Chowder, at your level, it would proc damage immediately also.
Oh, it would proc damage immediately? Okay, sweet.
Yeah, on the hit.
Yeah, so why don't you make that attack roll and let's see how we go.
Do I get sneak attack? Because, you know, teleporting right in front of some dude's eye is surprising.
No, it's surprising, but I wouldn't say it gives you advantage because you are teleporting in front of its line of sight.
Is Pat flanking? Because he's doing melee hits.
It is happening at the same time. This is like as Locke's hits are resolving, so I suppose that would grant sneak attack.
Oh, okay. I thought it was away from Locke, but yeah. Oh my god, it's a nat 20.
Yes.
Double DiMaggio. Okay.
Bro, I'm just imagining that like Jetta and Locke are like Vegeta and Goku fighting a third entity just like in the air, you know?
Did we agree to me getting sneak attack, or is that my...
Yes, you did.
Yes. How does that pair with crit?
So roll 2d4, we'll add those three together, double them, and then add the whatever pluses there are, and that'll be...
okay.
Okay, so it's 34 damage times 2, 68 damage. Holy fuck. Yeah, so 68 damage.
Wait, it's a +1 dagger.
+1 dagger,
69. Well, and also you got to add your dex. I don't know, that might ruin it, but you can refuse it, I guess.
Please don't refuse damage for a meme.
I don't know, it's a pretty juicy meme.
Please don't do that.
+4 is my dexterity.
All right, so we have what, 68 plus 4 from dex?
73, because it's also a +1 dagger.
Okay, gotcha. So 73 damage total. Christ alive. So basically, Maeve and Kalt, what you see is you see these two rocket off towards Azagar, and Lee is in a tough spot, and Azagar is just sort of cruising.
Cruising for a bruising.
You witness Locke basically spin to winning above him, and Jetta teleporting into his face, and like a thunderclap emits from its eye, and it shrieks in pain, and its flight falters pretty drastically as it drops like 30 feet towards the ground before regaining itself. Jetta, I'm going to have you be the victim of a retaliatory tail attack. That was fun to say.
Yep.
You're retaliatory too.
Okay. Is an 18 plus 14.
Jesus Christ.
Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 18 maybe, and then the plus came in. Okay.
Upon withdrawing the dagger from its eye, you're sort of like bounced off of it. Like you stab and then you roll off and you just sort of like acrobatically skid away from its face, but before you can regain your bearings, you feel a massive thud in your back and you take 16 bludgeoning damage from its tail as it drops out of the sky.
Alrighty.
Kalt, it is your turn. You're floating inside the Salt Spire looking at the window. You see this happen. Your conspired efforts have injured Azagar.
Boar fruit.
He's still very much in the mix, and Lee is settling beneath you, not doing so well.
Right. How far am I away from the Azagar beatdown?
Pretty far. The other two moved like 120, 180 feet to get to him, so he's still like 150 feet away at this point.
Okay, 150 feet, that's fair. Seeing Lee...
You're hasted.
I am hasted, yeah. I'm probably... I don't know if I'm going to get in the mix, because if I lose my concentration, y'all will fall from the sky like so many
potatoes. You do have
potatoes.
Lee beneath you, gravely injured, not doing so well.
That's what I was thinking. I have healing word. I'll pop, because once you pop, you just can't stop. A 4th level healing word, so that's 4d4. 3, 5, 8, 12, plus my wisdom modifier, which is, I think, just +1. So that's 13 points of healing to my boy Lee.
Lee looks up at you and says,
Thank you, strange one.
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
And then I still have an action. I'll use, my movement to get forward within 120 feet, and then I will try to attack with a fireball, since the range on that's 100, or not a fireball, fire bolt. Sorry,
Bolt.
that is 120 feet.
Cool.
Does a 27 hit.
Azagar has barely recovered from its in-air brawl with Locke and Jeddah as you blast it right in the face with a bit of fire. Hit me with that damage.
All right, it's gonna be 3d10 for a total of 12 points of fire damage. That'll be my turn. And then I'm going to use my movement to immediately come back and kind of like regain cover. And then I'm going to use my bonus action, or no, my hasted action to hide.
Okay, you do exactly that.
Roll that hide.
You heal your companion dragon, attack your enemy, and sequester yourself in the nooks and crannies of the Salt Spire. Maeve, you're floating outside the Salt Spire, and Azagar has blood and scales and flesh flapping in the air above it as it has been so gravely injured. What do you do?
How far away am I?
Not much closer than Call. I'd say maybe 120 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go forward 60 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try a Ray of Frost again.
All right.
14 plus 10, 24.
That hits.
Okay. That is 20 points of cold damage.
20 points of cold damage. Okay.
And then I'm going to retreat back to closer to Lee with my remaining 60 feet of movement.
I'll say that you zoom right through the window through which you could see Kalt and then descend, and you are now floating just above Lee in the tower in between all the machinery. Does that sound okay?
Sure.
It is now Lee's turn. Revitalized by Kalt, encouraged and aided by your collective attacks, you see Lee look out the window. With its front legs, it grips the broken edge of the floor. With its wings, it braces itself against the walls, and it is going to let loose a lightning breath attack on Azagar, who is careening towards him. And I'm going to have Azagar make a DC 19 dexterity saving throw. Oh, that is a nat 20, but it's just a saving throw, so it's going to take some damage, but not all. 12d10. That's 53 divided by 2 is, we'll say, 27. You all see Lee brace itself against the tower, and a massive beam of lightning energy cracks through the air and burns through the scales on Azagar's chest, rending his flesh open and vulnerable, knocking him out of the sky as he slams into the ground, kicking up dirt and debris all around him. Every single one of you feels the impact and looks down as the dust cloud settles. Azagar lies twisted, gnarled, and broken, still breathing, but on the ground in between all of you.
Yeah, we did it.
I mean, he's still breathing, so.
We just got to take a old Yeller style here.
Yep.
He said his chest was open, right?
His chussy, if you will.
Yeah, there are no scales on his chest. He's just been, the lightning breath, nailed him, really stripped him of his natural armor.
Is the opening, big enough to fit a crystal in?
Yes, yeah, certainly. But
okay, that's cool. That's all I'm asking.
Where would you to toot the crystal?
All right, but Azagar lies on the ground. He doesn't say a word. You hear, without its mouth moving, you hear the rumblings of Draconic fill the air as it turns its barely conscious eyes up towards the tower, and it is going to make another cold breath attack straight up into the tower, meaning Lee and Maeve are in its line. Please, Lee and Maeve, roll a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 19.
That is a 19. Let's see here. Lee and Maeve both fail the Constitution saving throw. For cold damage, let's roll 16d8. 79. Maeve, can I ask how much health you have?
Oh, I have 63, but I also have resistance to cold damage.
So you take 40 damage.
Still up. I gotta make a concentration check for haste.
Yes.
Oh, that could be bad. Let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Roll d20 plus. So the DC is going to be 20 for this concentration check.
Okay.
So I took 40 damage.
You have, warcasting.
So, roll. That is a 26.
Holy shit. Your guys' dice rolls really turned around here. So that was Azagar's turn. He sees that he has injured you, certainly, but when the mist settles, everybody is still in the air and ready to attack. And he falls unconscious, giving in to the might of the friendship crew and accepting defeat in this moment. Azagar has 6 hit points left, by the way. You guys fucked him up so bad.
Hell yeah.
I cautiously descend down, and, I'm just like, it's over. Your machinations are done. Before we end this.
And your machines.
And your machines. Your machinations and your machines are done.
So you all sort of gingerly move out from your situations to look at the dragon. It is still breathing. It is still alive, but it is lying there helpless at the foot of the tower.
We should end it. Gods are beings of pure nature. If we let it live now, it will not learn from this experience. It is what it is. There is no room for change, otherwise it would be a different god.
Lee lowers its head solemnly and sort of echoes your sentiment.
It disrupted the balance of nature when the death of its brother shook through time. Your friend is right. There is no counterbalance to one that would control existence at all costs.
I mean, if there's like a job opening, I could apply. It's not like I take on the responsibility.
I will get to that point for sure.
Before we end you, I got one question. What was it all for? So was it worth it?
Does anybody here understand Draconic?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yes, I do, bitch.
I think I got Draconic as well. Yeah, I have Draconic.
You all feel a deep rumbling in the air, almost like the world itself is speaking to you.
Hold on, is it just me and Kalt that can understand it, or do the rest
Correct.
of you know it?
We hear
Anybody
the rumbling, but we probably
Okay.
don't understand it.
You hear the
guess I will
rumbling.
translate in real time for them. He's rumbling in like labored breaths while he's saying all this stuff. So
Thank you, Matt.
I am the only being that saw time for what it was. Now it will always be broken, chaotic, and unsolved. I was your salvation.
That sucks. No, thank you.
Only a god would be able to have such sight. This is me talking, by the way, not him. Yep. Only a god would be able to have such breadth of knowledge about time without seeing it for what it truly is. These moments that you tried to control will always be as they were, unchanging forever. And that's the beauty of it. You can't save us from something that is eternal. With that, I was just going to bring my hammer down and deal the killing blow.
You all perhaps wince, perhaps look away, however you react. Locke brings the hammer of Thunderbolt down on the skull of Azagar, and its face is horribly misshapen as you hear the crack ripple through its bones. The tyrant behind the creation of the Magelords, the necessity of the tears, and the many shattered timelines has been defeated. Lee, of all of you, exhales the largest sigh of relief as a semblance of balance is returned to the world through his action and through your support. That's not to say everything is resolved and back to normal, but this threat, this world-ending, time-breaking threat, is gone.
Now let's go get Bates fingies.
Do you guys then teleport back? Do you do what do you do?
You know what? I think I would. Would it be gross to take some souvenirs from this ancient funky dragon that probably could be worth a lot of money and be very valuable?
I'm going to leave that up to the other characters.
It would be in my culture, we use every bit of the dragon afterwards.
I would say that take what you want, but don't be a dick about it.
You think we could bring him with?
I can't carry him.
And I'm going to look over at Lee.
Do you bring him with?
I think I may have pulled my shoulder in the attack.
Well, here's a healing word. It's fine now. Pick up this body. Pick up this body.
I would probably try to like cut the head off just to like bring back and show that we defeated him.
This head is larger than you, Locke. The whole
I
head
know,
is
I know.
okay. Cool.
He's got massive
It's gonna take me a
delts.
while to fucking chop through this shit, but
With
I
a
bring out an
hammer,
axe
too.
and I have an
hammer.
axe.
I'm gonna fill the bag of holding full of like loose scales and stuff.
You guys spend the next several minutes cleaning things up, ensuring the machinery is intact so your subsequent plans can be carried out. Locke and Kalt, you guys basically corral the remains of the dragon, taking souvenirs, taking evidence of its defeat, and I'd say maybe after 15 minutes or so, you have succeeded at each of your individual attempts, and now stand around Lee, just outside the broken salt spire, together.
I'm gonna ask Colt to help me carry the head, considering he's a strong boy.
I flex my arm and my robe rips again, of course.
I think we have to just go back.
Does anybody object? Who cast the spell?
Probably me.
I only have a second level, but
Maeve, you pull out the hand, you cast the spell of your choice into it to return each of you back to the Highlands, the trophy of your battle held loftily above Kalt and Locke, and expect to see your druid friends there with Galagath awaiting your next steps. But you don't see much of anything. Upon returning, everything is sort of gray and hazy, and it's confusing because what could cause a gray haze like this with this sort of fine particulate? And it takes you a moment to realize that this is the dust of rubble, and when a breeze clears it, you're not standing next to a salt spire. You are standing next to a pile of stone that has been shattered. Bait, Galagath, Jerry, and the druids are not here.
Fucking bait.
wait, we could do this so sick if you just like DM me what you want to say in Discord.
Yep, no, you're right. That's so cool. Give me just a sec. Let me type this up real quick.
So Colin just makes dragon noises while Pat's talking.
That's very racist. How dare you?
Sorry. Hey, gabagoo.
No, that's the mainland accent.
That might be more racist.
Yeah, Locke just solemnly bows his head and says, "He's walking here."
He was.
This is the funniest shit, and it's in like a very powerful emotional moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is bad.